Alright, so welcome to the kind of devlog or showcase for the Galaxy Edit feature for Thrawn's Revenge Unleashed. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So what I've allowed with this feature is the ability to edit the galaxy around you in the middle of a campaign or while a campaign is going on. That allows you a lot more freedom, flexibility in writing your own stories or altering, how the gameplay is going or really how the gameplay plays, regardless of what campaign you are in. So, like from the ground up, progressive, or the kind of mission campaigns that they've got. First little information that you need to be aware of is we've got this new inside of the resource information tab. You have the Galaxy Edit information. That's going to tell you what your first faction selected, second faction selected, and first planet selected is. You've got your faction rosters. This tells you what roster each faction is using. Just to let you know, it's got default, meaning their default roster, but this way you can keep track when you're using the feature to change what roster a faction is using. Then you have your allies here. Every faction has a section for their allies to let you know who they are allied with and whether or not they are allies. With the Galaxy Edit feature, you are able to mix and match allies. So you could have all of the opposing factions or all of your enemy factions allied with each other, but not you. Or you could also be allied with them. You have the capability to do that. Anyway, but this is where that information would be shown. So, and with that being displayed, we'll go ahead and get started. You'll click on, make sure that you have a planet selected first. You'll click on the TRU Galaxy Edit menu. You will recruit the TRU cursor, and in doing so, that will unlock your options to be able to use the feature. And we'll just go from left to right in order of features, and as I'll showcase these. So first off, we can merge factions together. Now this will merge the faction you have selected as number 2 into the faction you have selected as number 1. So we are going to go ahead and actually select. We'll go ahead and give the CIS or CSA, sorry. We'll give them a good time here, and we will give them everything that Zinja's Empire has. So by setting CSA to faction 1 as we did, and then going over here to a planet controlled by Zinj Empire, we can click this, and that'll set them as faction 2. And to show you how that worked here, we'll go ahead and see, first faction selected, corporate sector, second faction selected, Zinj Empire. Now I'm just going to move this off of the planet that are going to be merged, because it has a tendency to throw the cursor around. But now I click merge faction 2 into faction 1, and as you'll see, everything that wasn't in transit of the Zinj Empire has been transferred and merged into the CSA. They've taken their planets, they've taken their units, and they will take the heroes. But say that you don't like a certain faction in the game, and you want to remove them. We're going to go ahead and set the Greater Maldruid to faction 1, and then we are going to move this cursor off of there, and we are going to press remove faction 1. And what that does is it will set everything owned by that faction to be the independent forces. So doing that here, effectively removing the faction from game. So now the Greater Maldruid is converted into independent forces. Now, if you want to give just individual planets to a faction, what you can do is place your cursor over the planet that you want, set planet 1, and to show you here. Now you can see that the planet is set to Yavin 4. Then we can move over here.
Heading out.
we'll go ahead and set CSA as our faction 1 again, and then we will press Give Planet 1 to faction 1. And as you can see, the CSA now has that faction, or that planet. Additionally, if you want to remove a planet from the conquest, you set it as Planet 1, and then you can click the Destroy Planet button.
Researching.
And it will destroy whichever planet you have selected. So now, we'll additionally go on to show the Allies system.
All out.
So, we can set this one to Faction 1,
Researching.
and we'll go ahead and set us
Let's move out.
to Faction 2. That way I can
Researching.
best demonstrate. Going over to the Resource tab, again, we can show you, we've got Empire of the Hand and Pentastar alignment. And if we scroll down here, you can see that we have no allies. Empire of the Hand specifically, not allied, right? But now that we have us both selected, we can press Make Faction 1 and Faction 2 allies.
Researching.
And now we are allies. And what that allows us to do,
Coming
I'll
around.
show you right here real quick. Back in our nice tab. Empire of the Hand, allies, yes. We also can scroll down to the Empire of the Hand's section as well. And as you can see, Pentastar alignment is now set to yes. So, if we quickly transfer some of our units over their planets, as you can see, we are now allies. Now, if you don't want to be allies anymore, what you are able to do is press the Make Faction 1 and Faction 2 enemies. And in
Researching.
doing so, it'll make you enemies. If you have units that are on the planet, the next time units move onto that planet, you'll engage in a battle. Or when you
Heading to
move them
destination.
off of the planet onto another controlled by the same faction, you will engage in a battle. We're just going to go ahead and auto-resolve that. Anyway, and as you can see here in our nice menu, it states we are no longer allies with the Empire of the Hand. So, and moving on, we've got some factions, right, don't have AI.
Let's go.
They're kind of placeholders until the Empire at War Expanded team, like fleshes them out completely. So, what we can do though is we can send our cursor over to a faction that doesn't have AI, set it to faction 1, and then we can click our Enable AI for faction.
Researching.
And what that'll do, as you can see, they start playing. They will build what units are assigned to them and be able to, start, creating and, going after other factions and taking over planets, as regular factions do. It sets their AI to generic. So if you use it on a faction that doesn't have a generic AI, their AI will be set to generic. But we can also, if we don't want a faction to have AI, let me go ahead and put
Researching.
that over here. We can set them to faction 1, and then we can hit Disable AI. And what that'll do is as soon as these forces land, they will no longer send any more forces out. They will cease to, essentially, to play. They'll become like the independent forces. Now, let me find a nice faction that would be a good use for
This way.
We're going to go over here, bring our cursor over to the Empire of the Hand. We're going to set them as faction 1. And we are going to change their roster to the Galactic Republic roster. And so in clicking this, it will change them to only use from this point on the Galactic Republic's roster.
Researching.
So in doing so, now we can go up to our nice section here that shows us what roster they're using, and the Empire of the Hand is now using the Galactic Republic roster. So, over time, as it takes some time to recruit different ships and things, you will see them use the Galactic Republic roster. Now, what is currently available, or what will be available next update, will be the Old Republic, Sith Empire, and Ancient Mandalorians. What is currently available for the update that's like currently out that people have access to is just the Faction 1 to Galactic Republic, and also the roster to CIS. So, we also have the ability to give a faction AI,
Shuttle en
or
route.
AI heroes, I mean. So if we set them as Faction 1,
Researching.
we can turn on Give AI Heroes.
Researching.
And what that'll do
Complete.
is the selection of heroes will be able to be transferred to that faction, to the faction you have selected as Faction 1. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll click through these, and what that'll do for us is it'll take these heroes from us and give them to that faction. So
Researching.
we're going to go ahead and
Researching.
start them moving on here. So we've got
Research complete.
Emperor Palpatine was taken from us.
Researching.
Darth Vader is up next. General Grievous,
Research complete.
Thrawn. Let's see.
Researching.
Go ahead and give them the
Research
rest
complete.
of these, and then we'll also, over time, as you can see right there, they're using the
Research
Galactic
complete.
Republic roster now. They're recruiting Galactic Republic ships. There, I just
Researching.
but we'll
Researching.
continue giving them the
Researching.
rest of these heroes here.
Research complete.
And as we monitor them, they will start to pick up those heroes and
Research
recruit those
complete.
heroes. It takes
Researching.
usually a couple cycles for them to recruit each, but
Research complete.
they
Researching.
will, and they do have access to them now after having
Research complete.
sent them over to them.
Cleared for
So
departure.
now, going down here, we can also
Research
cycle through our options to gain access to more options to build here.
Researching. Researching.
Let's make sure this is
Research
these
complete.
guys all get over there.
Research complete. Research
There we go.
complete.
Alright, so we cycle
Researching.
through to our next set of options here, and we also have the spawn faction. So if we want to be able to spawn a faction that's maybe not in play, say like for example we removed the Zinj Empire entirely
Departure
over here
vector set.
and gave all their stuff to the CSA, we can set this planet
Researching.
to Planet 1, and then we can find the Zinj Empire. We can press that,
Researching.
and we can bring them back. So now we have the Zinj Empire back in the campaign. And what that also allows you to do is on campaigns or different maps that don't have every faction, you will be able to spawn in factions that are missing. And if you want them to have AI afterwards, you just have to enable their AI after.
Course approved.
But that allows you to change up what factions are in your campaign, from inside of the game. Additionally, we have another feature
Researching.
here with the galactic cheats have now moved, or the unleashed cheats have now moved to this galaxy edit. Now what this allows you to do is you select a
Researching.
planet, and then you can use that to spawn
Researching.
the cheat buildings
Researching.
on that planet.
Researching.
Now we have a couple
Researching.
different options that you're able to
Researching.
do with this in regards to
Researching.
spawning and removing different
Researching.
cheat structures. The four that we have are kind of a mixed cheat structure that has 8,000 population cap, 10,000 credits, 99% reduced unit cost, and 99% reduced build times. The second one that we have adds 1 million pop cap to allow you to have essentially a limited pop cap. We also have the Unleashed Cheats 3, which adds 10,000 credits to your weekly income. And you can have as many of these buildings as you want. You can sell more of them if you want more space. You can also, with cheat building number 4, this one reduces build times by 99% if you still want the credit cost, or if you want just the faster gameplay recruitment, you are able to have that. But that gives you some freedom to be able to customize, you know, like what kind of cheats you're using. But we've got a couple options here for removing these cheats, because you as the player can sell them, but this system allows you to spawn them on AI planets, meaning you can have the AI have those cheats. So if you want, you know, the S-Ruvi or the C-Ruvi Empire to, or Imperium, my bad, to be able to have infinite income and to have infinite unit cap, you can do that for them, so they will keep recruiting and be able to keep, to play a little bit more aggressively if you'd like. But since you can't remove them, we don't have a way to detect what's on a planet in that sort of a way and like pull it off of a specific planet. What you can do here is I've got options to remove the last one, the most recent cheat structure that you've built.
Researching.
And so for that category, so it'll
Researching.
remove the most recent,
Researching.
number one that we've made.
Researching.
Then we also have the
Researching.
options to be able to remove
Researching.
every one of them in
Researching.
the galaxy at once. So right here, for remove unleashed or every unleashed cheats 3, you click this button and all of these
Researching.
unleashed cheats 3 will disappear. That way, you can have freedom of being able to customize how the AI will play and yourself play using cheats. This Galaxy Edit feature will expand to be larger over time, but right now this is what functionality that we have, and it's a system that allows for a lot more features to be able to come to it, since I've created these ways to continue to check and be able to set variables and edit the galaxy around you. And so more features will be coming to this, but this is what is here for now, what will likely be here for the next updates for players to enjoy. Anyway, so thank you for watching this showcase and kind of walkthrough of the Galaxy Edit system, and you guys have a great day.